OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, it's CODY here from the Outcasted OC and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. I have a couple of things to quickly go through before we discuss what happened on Raw this week. Firstly, we all know fully well Raw has gone down to 2 hours now for the rest of the year, so the reviews might be a little bit shorter, but that's just because there's not as much happening on the show anymore. Secondly, yes, it is light outside, and it is almost 7 p.m. here. We have just had daylight savings change, so it'll now be lighter when I film these reviews, which is actually fantastic because the natural lighting in this room looks really good when I'm able to use it. And third, I'm apologising in advance if I sound a little bit sick. I think I am coming down with the flu, but we do not let anything stop us from firstly watching wrestling. And secondly, we don't let anything stop us from reviewing Monday Night Raw. So, let's get straight into what happened this week. The show starts off with us seeing the arrivals of Sami Zayn, Gunther, Pete Dunne, Sheamus, The New Day, and Jey Uso. Now, all of these guys arrived consecutively because they all have matches with each other throughout the evening. Then we end up having Sexy Red introduce us to Monday Night Raw and show us a video package from Bad Blood. So we got to see a bit of a recap into the matches that happened on Bad Blood from the Monday Night Raw team and from the Friday Night SmackDown brand. Following this, CM Punk's music hit and he made his way out to the arena. He's limping out, he didn't go out to the ring, so he cut a promo at the top of the ramp. He says it's good to not be dead, and he said he's been through hell this week and he's in no condition to be at Raw, and it hurts to smile, but he had to come here because he wanted to see the fans. He said, I'm alive, but I don't feel it. It doesn't feel like I won. CM Punk goes on to say that he's not really too sure what his future holds within WWE. He said he's banged up so bad at the moment that he doesn't know. There's 3 different groups of people that he would like to thank. His fans, his peers, and the people that don't like him at all. And there's a thin line between love and hate, but you guys turned your hate into cash, so thank you very much. And whatever reason you dislike me, keep doubting me because I'm going to continue to prove you wrong. He said he's going home to see his wife, who he hasn't seen in 5 weeks. He said he'll see us soon, but he's not too sure when. So it looks like CM Punk is going away for a little bit to recover from the Hell in a Cell match, take a little bit of time to reevaluate where he's going on the brand. Nonetheless, I'm excited to see him when he comes back. I feel like CM Punk has really gone ahead and proved a lot of the naysayers wrong when it came to his return and given us a lot of good caliber matches as well as storytelling and promos because we all know CM Punk is a beast on the mic. When it came to Monday Night Raw this week, the flow of the show felt a little bit more sped up than normal. Now this will just be because they don't have that 3rd hour anymore. So pretty much straight after this, we had Seth Rollins come out and he ended up facing off against CM Punk. As we know in Triple H storytelling, this means that these two will meet again at some point in time. He grabs the mic from somebody out around the ring and he welcomes everybody to Monday Night Rollins and he wishes Punk to get better soon because the sooner that Punk is back, the sooner he can kick his ass and send him back into retirement. He said, look, I've been gone a few months and things have been getting a little bit crazy out here, you know, especially at Bad Blood. Things were weird, you know, hell froze over. Cody teamed with Roman, The Rock came back and he ended up getting punched by Kevin Owens. But he said he's back to destroy Bronson Reed and he said, look, he's not here tonight, but I know that you are somewhere watching and I want you to listen really closely. You tried to end my career and you want to make a name for yourself? Congratulations. You want to get famous? I'll give you 15 minutes. I'll wrestle you anytime, any place. I'll be expecting you. So obviously, we are going to be getting a feud between Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed at some point in time. I'm super excited to see this whenever it happens. I feel like Bronson will appear on Raw next week to potentially challenge Seth Rollins for a title opportunity at some point later in time. Don't know why I said title opportunity, but he'll probably end up having a match with him at some point in time. And then we could see Bronson go for a title. Who knows? Talking about the pacing of Monday Night Raw, Jey Uso came out straight after this. That was just like one thing after another after another. And so Jey came out and celebrated with the crowd and he looked at Seth and then Seth ended up leaving the ring. This set up the first match of the evening, which was Jey Uso taking on Xavier Woods for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a really short match, but nonetheless action-packed. So Xavier goes after Jey early on and then Xavier ends up reversing Jey's attacks and we have a commercial break. Jey and Xavier are both exchanging blows and we see a really nice big boot coming in from Xavier. But Xavier ends up eating a super kick and an Uso splash very early on and he he secures the win, so Jey Uso won the match, which was exciting to see. He retained his title. Kofi goes into the ring to console Xavier post-match. I don't know what is going on, but I heard a cat meowing outside this room, and turns out my cat's just decided to sit on the window ledge, so she might make herself known at some point in time. Anyway, as I was saying, Jey tries to show some respect to the New Day, so we end up seeing Kofi shaking his hand, and then he offers Xavier a handshake. Xavier ends up cold shouldering Jey and walks away. Then we ended up seeing Bron Breakker come in and spearing Jey while he's celebrating. Kofi comes in and tries to help out Jey, but Bron just ends up attacking all three of the guys there. So he attacks Jey Uso, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston. So much for Bron being excited for Jey Uso holding the championship. Looks like we're going to be getting a rematch at some point in time. And Rhea Ripley cutting a video promo backstage where she was talking about Liv Morgan about the match at Bad Blood. She was saying that you need to bring Raquel into this because you can't beat me yourself. She said it would have been smarter if you didn't get caught, and you've guaranteed another beating and you've delayed the inevitable. You need Raquel, but I guess I'm just going to have to go through both of you, which I really enjoyed seeing that. Then we ended up seeing a video replay of Bron Breakker's attack on the New Day and Jey Uso, and then Jackie Redmond ends up catching Bron Breakker walking backstage and tries to ask him what's going on. He just walks away with absolutely no comment. Then what we ended up seeing is some Triple H centric news. We got to see the video of him announcing that shitty looking title for Crown Jewel. And then Joe and Wade were starting to talk about what happened with Kevin Owens. But then a tweet came out from Triple H earlier on in the evening that they referenced on commentary, basically saying that they were going to be dealing with the matter internally. Now, I feel like this is adding to the storyline. It just makes it really interesting that we can't really talk about it on Raw. We're only allowed to talk about it on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes is backstage, and then we ended up getting a Sheamus and Pete Dunne promo on each other. This is obviously setting up the Donnybrook match that they will be having very soon in the evening. Karrion Kross and Miz are talking backstage, and Truth comes in. Truth basically says that he forgives Miz for the attack, but Miz goes ahead and says that Awesome Truth is done and that he is going to ask Adam Pearce for a match against R-Truth next week. Following this, we head back to the ring where we have the match between Pete Dunne and Sheamus. This was a really cool Donnybrook match. I can't say I've been excited for Donnybrook matches in the past before, but this one felt a little bit different. So from the beginning of the match, Pete is attacking Sheamus, but then Sheamus hits a really nice Alabama slam. We end up seeing a super kick and a tornado DDT outside of the ring coming in from Pete Dunne, and Pete ends up stomping Sheamus's hand on the little bar that they have set up within the Donnybrook match. Sheamus ends up power slamming Pete into the commentary table, and then when we come back from the commercial break, Pete is slapping Sheamus, but Sheamus tries to set up the 10 beats and Pete ends up countering this. We see an Irish Curse backbreaker coming in by Sheamus and then a superplex from Pete Dunne. Sheamus hits the 10 beats on top of the whiskey barrels and then hits a white noise onto the tables that are set up outside the ring. Following this, we had a running knee from Sheamus. Pete ends up hitting Sheamus with the cricket bat. He ends up pulling the drawers out of the bar and ends up smashing Sheamus with them. He ends up trying to kind of put Sheamus into some handcuffs with some zip ties, and then he hits a running knee, but then Sheamus hits a running knee and a brogue kick and secures the win over Pete Dunne. To be honest, I wouldn't really mind who won this match. I kind of was pushing a little bit more for Pete Dunne. He needs a little bit more credibility on the main roster, but this is a hard-fought battle nonetheless, and I really enjoyed this match. Cody Rhodes is catching up with Kathy Kelly backstage, and she's asking about the attack from Kevin Owens. And he's like, look, we're probably going to have to talk about this on SmackDown, but this is not what I'm here for. I'm here to find out who is going to be going up against me for the Crown Jewel Championship. And then Cody is walking backstage and he runs into Sammy, and Sammy says that he plans on being the one to face him at Crown Jewel. Then he goes ahead and asks about how he's feeling and just basically says, if you want to talk about it, I'm here. And Cody's like, no, it's all good. We'll talk about it on SmackDown. We had a couple of more backstage segments and video packages, so we got to see the recap of what happened last week between Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed in that last Monster Standing match. Then we ended up seeing Raquel had arrived in a car. She gets out of the car and opens the door up for Liv Morgan and Dom Mysterio. Jackie Redmond is catching up and asking, is Raquel a part of the Judgment Day? Just a whole bunch of questions. And Liv is basically like, yeah, I still have the title, I still have the Judgment Day, I still have Dom, and now I have Raquel. I still win even when I lose. And then they just get back in the car and they just leave. So I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is so stupid. And because we are in St. Louis, Missouri for Raw tonight, and NXT is going to be in St. Louis, Missouri as well too tomorrow, Ava is catching up with Adam Pearce. They're talking backstage, and we actually got to see Ethan Page on Raw as well too. He had his little wee NXT logo down the bottom. He says he wants to chat business because CM Punk cost him the title at NXT last week. And then Sexy Red comes in. Bit of a mess segment for me, but absolutely fine. I really enjoyed seeing Ava and Ethan Page as well. That was really cool to see. We had a tornado tag match, and when I say tornado, I just mean it was an absolute mess. We had a 10-woman tag match, so basically we had the teams of PFC and Unholy Union taking on Natalya, Zelina, Lyra Valkyria, and Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Zoe came out of the blocks super hot within this match. There's a lot of carnage going on. Everyone gets involved. Then after the commercial break, the Unholy Union is in control of the match, and Zelina gets to show off a lot of her skills. This was just a lot of craziness just going on. Kaden and Katana obviously got to do some aerial stunts, and we ended up seeing Lyra's team secure the win. This was cool, but I feel like if this is what we're going to be seeing, because Raw's now gone to 2 hours instead of 3, I'm not super thrilled. We had a video promo package for Gunther in preparation for his match against Sami Zayn later on this evening, as well as Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair cutting a promo on Damage Control saying they are not going to be taking the tag titles off of them and they'll stay champions for quite some time. Now we've made it to the main event, which is Sami Zayn challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. They lock up at the beginning and then Gunther ends up overpowering Sami, but Sami shows his smartness in the ring. After the commercial break, Sami is attacking Gunther, and then we end up seeing Gunther chopping the ever-living crap out of Sami Zayn. Sami ends up powering up. Gunther goes for his sleeper move many times during this match, and there's a few times where Sami ends up reversing out of it. The first time he did it, he reversed out of it with a blue thunderbomb. And then after the commercial break, Sami is obviously getting beaten down again by Gunther. He ends up countering a lot of his power bombs, and he hits a really nice exploder. He ends up hitting 2 haluva kicks outside of the ring, and then we end up seeing Gunther hitting a gnarly clothesline lariat. Dropkick powerbomb combo coming in by Gunther, and then Gunther applies the sleeper. Sami Zayn ends up passing out, so Gunther retains the World Heavyweight Championship. As Gunther is leaving the ring and he's going up the ramp, we end up seeing Cody Rhodes coming out at the end of the match to face off against Gunther. Now, obviously, if these two remain champions between now and Crown Jewel, they will be going up against each other at Crown Jewel to become the Crown Jewel champion. See how stupid that sounds? Sounds absolutely ridiculous, because it is. Not the fact that Cody and Gunther are champions, because that's absolutely fine. Just the concept of the Crown Jewel Championship. It's pretty much just like taking the concept of Survivor Series and putting a title on it. And it unnecessarily, in my opinion, makes another person lose for no reason. And I feel like what it does is it actually ends up putting one of the titles above the other in terms of, oh, this person's lost to this person, so this title means more than this one, when the champions should realistically be on the same level across brands. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that's just how I feel about it. And that brings us to the end of this week's Monday Night Raw review. I hope you guys enjoyed the shorter format. This is probably how it's going to be for the next couple of months, considering Raw is staying at 2 hours until it moves over to Netflix, which is absolutely fine. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure you go ahead and like the video, as well as sounding off down below how you feel about the new 2-hour format. If there's anything that you enjoyed from Raw this week, while you're there too, you should absolutely subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and turn on the bell icon down next to the subscribe button. Those are your notifications, and if you turn those on, you do not miss any future podcasts or any extra reviews. While you're there as well too, you should check out the description down below. You can find the links to Outcasted on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, as well as all of our personal socials, so you can keep up to date with what we're doing when we're not posting on the channel. As always, your regular NXT review is coming in from Reese this week, as well as the podcast on Thursday. We're going to be talking all things Bad Blood, as well as the SmackDown review coming in on Friday later on this week. I've been Courtney from the Outcasted OC, and I'll see you guys in the Bad Blood review this week. Bye guys.